everyone, good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? Yeah, it looks all good to me. I'm a little bit wonky on my monitor in front, but apart from that, we're all looking good. How's everyone today? I've altered around the lighting a bit, so I'm a little bit darker on this side. Am I a bit lighter on this side? Giving a bit of 3D modelling myself. How's everyone today? Can you hear me? And more importantly, oh, that's Louise's laptop. Can you hear?
Can you hear me?
You're all right there, Louise. You're a bit wonky there, aren't you?
Which way do I need to unwonk myself?
You wonky? No, you know you're about right. You can just see. Let's just get Louise in. So can you hear Louise?
Can you hear me?
That's the most important thing. We don't
Louise boom boom voice.
There you go. That's better.
Yes, both loud and clear. Thank you, Amco. Thanks, Clea. Cool.
Good. Lovely to be back in the studio today. As you know, this time last week we were at the XL in London. Very good show, that. Everyone was saying it's a little bit on the small side. Well, then it would have been because it's the first show since we've been back from COVID. And people were, I think, were a little bit unsure.
Yeah, a couple of people said they were surprised that there wasn't more there, but it's like you said, it's inaugural year, wasn't it?
Yes.
So that's why. So I think it really is important to support these shows, isn't it?
It is, and I think they said it's going to be 4 times larger next year.
Wow, 4 times?
4 times bigger next year from the amount of inquiries they've got.
And I think as well that's down to the turnout, which is great. Because if we don't go to these shows and support them, then, because people say Birmingham, because I've only known the Spring Fair since it's been as it is, but in the years gone by, people say it was amazing and it was massive and it's a shame that it's
dwindled.
Yeah, it's kind of, but then I think the same thing will happen to the other shows if we don't go along.
I think it is. I think it was very good.
And don't forget as well, some business will not have survived the COVID closure and disruption, so it's really important that we do support the ones that have.
I expect a few have closed down as a result of that, but no, it was good to see, and I must admit it was good to see lunchtime when we were walking around. It was like, it was walking past people like this, wasn't it? Whereas normally you can just walk down the aisles, no problem at all.
It was also good to see you getting a row off a security guard, Andrew, live on YouTube. I don't know how many of you saw that.
But we deleted that. We deleted that rather quickly. We got told, I got told off for filming live.
You tried to negotiate with him because the security guard said, "Sir, you can't walk around filming live.
You can't walk around filming, sir." So I said, "Well, can I stand still and film?"
Smart ass, no.
Well, no, he didn't state that. He says you're not allowed to film under no circumstances. And okay, but someone says, "Can I?" No, anyway. I tried to argue my case, but yeah.
And I just wanted the floor to swallow me up, naturally.
He had the better of me, didn't he?
Well, yeah, he was. I wasn't going to argue with him.
He was a security guard, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, do you want to say your bit?
My bit? Well, we obviously have to acknowledge and honour
the Queen.
The passing of Queen Elizabeth, don't we? Which is just terribly sad. And
very shocking.
Well, I don't know why it's a shock, because 1 minute it announced she was ill, the next minute she'd gone. And I'm sure it didn't happen that quickly, but I think we just all assumed she'd go on forever, didn't we?
Yes.
And I don't know, it's really taken me by surprise how upset I feel about it, which is silly because I never didn't know her. I'm not particularly patriotic. I never had any strong feelings towards the royal family at all, but I just feel so emotional about it. And I've been reflecting about it a lot on the weekend, and I think it's because all of my life I've seen images of her regularly on banknotes, on the ER, on the post boxes, coins, the royal crest. It's been a regular feature, isn't it, in all of our lives?
Absolutely everywhere.
And it's only now she's gone that you kind of reflect on it, and I just feel like she was the embodiment of so much good and virtue and kindness, and I've only really thought about that in the last 3 days.
Last few days.
So yeah, for me, I think the best way that I can honour her is when I see these images in the future, when I see the Queen on banknotes, on coins, like I say, the Royal Crest, even, the new King Charles, when I see his image, I'm going to try and remember all those virtues and the kindness and
the feelings you had.
Yes, and I'm going to try and bring those qualities into my day as often as obviously every time I see a banknote I can't do it, and I think that's the best way to honour her.
Absolutely, well said.
Thank you. That and wear my pearls a bit more, which I will do, and I've got them on today. So
well said.
yeah. Yeah, John's saying sending you big. Oh, right, back at you, bro. Thank you. It's emotional, and a lot of people have said the same thing, that they are shocked by how it's made them feel. And that's I've thought about it a lot, and I think that's, for me, certainly, that's what I'm going to try and do.
I think it was very to us. It was very sudden. We were watching the television, and I think it was just later when you see, like when King Charles did his little speech the day after, when you see, obviously it affects him, but somebody who's in the public, who obviously has feelings, you
can't imagine it, can you?
People within the royal family, they get so much hassle from the media, but they're human beings at the end of the day with
Absolutely.
all these feelings. So it did touch me. Yeah, it really did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to do a Q&A.
We do. We got to do a Q&A.
There will be no Q&A next Monday. In the UK here, we're in a period of national mourning, and next Monday is Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. So it's a bank holiday, so we won't be here. But we will be back next week, the week after next, I should say, which is the of September. What date is it?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
26th.
Yes.
Yes, so we will be back then.
I'm just trying to alter this a minute. Oh gosh, I'm just turn my light out. You carry on now.
Okay, that's all I had.
I'm stuck on.
What else has happened over the last week? What are you doing?
I'm trying to alter this this light. This light is very dark for some reason over here. But let you carry on. Go on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so the first time we heard the Long Live the King and I was going to say the Queen's national anthem, but with the wrong words. It's not the wrong words, but when we heard that, it just sent like a shiver down my spine. It's going to take some getting used to.
Because it's all that we've ever known. It's all the majority of the people have ever known.
Clay, that's what I said. Can we make a crown in the workshop? But he said no. But if enough of us ask, he might he might agree.
But no, it was very, very touching. So my father's 99. He's known a king.
Yes, well, my father,
And your father?
My father was 7.
Yeah.
When the Queen was crowned.
Amazing.
So he can remember. He said he can remember queuing up. Everybody had a free ice cream.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's as much as he can remember about it.
Oh, bless him. I've lost my controls for the light. It doesn't matter. It's in my bag. Right, should we start? Anything we need to have a look at?
Tanya's saying, lovely to know you was 2 minutes away from me where the cable cars were. I've not been on there yet after seeing Andrew's face. I think I'll give it a miss. They weren't that scary, Tanya. It was just Andrew being
But I think I was fine going up, but when you realised the engineering side of it and you saw how thin those pillars were actually holding up the cables, that's what got me. I was a little bit unsure of. Don't mind the height. The height was okay, but it was just knowing and thinking too much. These little uprights, these little bits of cables holding all these up. Didn't like that. But once I was up there and the sun was out, blue sky, it was lovely. So we had a lovely round trip, didn't we?
I enjoyed it.
And we were trying to get to see Jurassic Park at the XL, but that was sold out.
Well, I nearly got tickets and I dilly-dallied and drank half a cup of coffee, and when I went back to it, they were gone.
They were all gone, but that would have been good. But we'll have to go back next time.
Yeah, we'll have to.
Stay in the hotel again.
It was nice, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a lovely few days away. It really was. So yeah, looking forward to next year's show as well already. Should we start?
I think we should.
My bench is a bit dirty. I don't like the lighting in here. This one is, I don't know.
Okay, well,
we'll have to
you can fiddle with that later.
I'll fiddle with it later. I don't know where my remote controls for the lights are, but we're going to start. Shall we, Louise?
Yeah, stop messing with it.
It's Monday, the 12th of September, 4 p.m. Time for our usual Q&A. Louise, may we have our first question, please?
Yeah, Tanya is saying, I've got the same pickle pot. Do you leave it on all day, please?
This guy here, the mini pickle acid bath, I don't leave this on all day, only because I'm not at this particular bench all day long. When I am at this bench, it is on. Always keep the lid on, because as the pickle sort of condenses, the water goes back in. If you leave it off, it'll it'll evaporate. But I always leave the lid on when I'm working up here. I just simply take it off, just put it back on. Don't often screw it back on, but just do that with it, keep it on. Downstairs we've got the little baby bottle warmers that I recommend everybody to have. They're smaller than the little crock pots that you can buy, and they can fit in a very small footprint on the bench. Baby bottle warmer, doesn't matter what brands, Tommy, Tippy, Mothercare, whatever, and then put a little plastic beaker in the middle, and then you put your pickle in that. Thank you very much, G-Major. Thank you very much.
What happened to the flashy lights?
I haven't got my hive thing, my Philips Hue, and I don't have my woo.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, G-Major.
So I don't. So that's what I leave on downstairs all day long. This is meant to be on all day, but I don't. But you can. But keep the lid on. Stops it evaporating. Louise, let's have another question.
Just having a gulp of my coffee. Yes, Isabel is saying, hi Andrew and Louise, I would like to recycle pearls from a pair of earrings. How can I separate them from the stud as they are glued?
Alright, what you want to do is get your torch, put your torch on, pearl, there's the cup that goes on the back, and there's the post, yep. Oh, there we go. So here's your pearl. There's your pearl, okay? This is your bit of gold, and this is gold. What you want to do, you want to get your torch, put your flame by here, just warm this up, okay? Grab onto the pearl with your fingers, grab on, perhaps it may be a better idea just to put your torch by here like this, and there we go. So keep it like that, okay? Keep it in front of you. Hold the pearl by here, and then get your pliers or your tweezers holding this end. Warm up the post a little bit, and as the heat then transfers through to the back plate here, what you'll find is the cement will just warm up, and you should be able to just twist the pieces apart. But when they come apart, usually all the glue stays on here and the pearl comes away nice and fresh. So that would be the best way to do it. So you fingers on here, okay, your fingers holding the pearl, fingers, this is my finger here, finger, and then you have your tweezers down here. Warm up this, pull it apart, pearl comes off. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Nice and simple. Next question, please do.
Would there be any residual glue on the pearl then?
Not usually on the pearl. The glue usually stays on. Maybe a bit of little bit of cement perhaps in the hole. If there's a peg on it, you can just get a little bit of a drill.
Just get a reamer, is it?
Yeah, just get a drill and just do.
If there's like a bit of a, would you just like take a tiny burr and just burr it off rather than?
No, just get a little drill, like a 1 mil drill. Put your drill in there and just spin it and pull it out, and it'll bring out all the gunk. If there's any gunk there.
Good. Okay.
Let us have another question.
Yes, Isabella is also asking, how would you make a clasp for a briolette or drop-shaped stone with lateral holes, please?
You want to... my pen's running out. I have to try a different... Oh, I've got a few in here. Let's try this actually. Is this a whiteboard one? It looks like it is. Brio... Oh, this isn't much good, is it? How about this one? Hey! So there's like your briolette, okay? And it's all like faceted. And you've got a hole running through. I assume that's what you mean. The board, there we go. I assume that's what you mean. So the only way really that you can do this safely is to get a little piece of wire and bend it, perhaps like that. Or perhaps make that a little bit more even. Okay, that would be the only real way to do it using normal types of equipment. So this will be your first bend, or perhaps that may be your first bend. Bend your wire down so it's like that. Yep. And then bend this side in like that, and bend that side in like that. Then you open it up, put your briolette in, and then squeeze it tight. So these ends then will just come and they will just almost touch. on the inside. That's the only real way that I know. There are lots of other ways that we could do it, using things like a laser welder, and you could have the going through that way, and then you could solder or puck the top of here, or laser weld the top of there. But that's going to be difficult if you've only got a torch. But that'd be the only way really to do it. It's not the best way to do it, but if you have nice thick wire that just fits nicely into the hole, not too tight, not too thin, and that would be the best way to make it. And I assume that's what you mean when it comes to sort of like a clasp on it. But that would be the best way to do it.
Okay, Penny is saying, I'd like to make a mourning piece for our dog who passed last week. I'm so sorry. Oh. I'm thinking of a tube and stamp her name. Any advice on the thickness of tube to stamp without distorting its shape?
Okay, so I think your best bet, I think there are several ways you could do this. You could have a sheet and then stamp it, and then put it into something like a swage block, which is something like, oops daisy, something like this. It's like a swage block, and you'd put your, let's try and find one there. So you put like your sheet across here, then you get your like a doming punch or one of the stakes, and to push down to make it into like a U shape, and then turn it around and keep hammering it and make it into a tube. You can use one of these swage blocks, or what I used to use was a piece of wood that I cut a V out into it. So it was like a piece of wood like that, and I just sawed out a bit of a V-shaped like that, and I use that to put the metal in so that the wood doesn't really harm the metal. That'd be the way that I would do it. If you want to buy a piece of tubing, you'd have to put something inside the tubing to support it when you hammer. Now, just thinking what would be the best way to do that. I think if you did that, it's going to be really, really difficult for you to do it, because if you've got your tubing, for instance, like that, you in theory have got to have a piece of a former that goes in that fits, that's going to be able to support. You could put a piece of rod in so it only goes so far into it, but then you're going to have to support this to be able to stamp down successfully on the top. So I think if it was me, I would get a piece of perhaps a 3/4 of a millimeter sheet, and then form it. So you've got your 3/4 piece of sheet like that. You'd stamp it in the middle here, then you would form it into that sort of shape. Yeah, then you'd form it a little bit more so into that sort of shape, and then you'd solder this, and that's the way I think I would do it. That would be the best way. Otherwise you're going to dent the tube. But Penny, did you have any success doing your casting? Did you manage to push down, because like a fob, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you manage to push the fob down further into the mould to get a successful cast? Let me know, and if not, I'll try and draw it on the board for you. Louise!
I think Penny's got her hands full at the moment with the
everything
that's been going on. But yeah, let us know when you get round to it. Pat is saying, hi Andrew, managed to solder the ring after all the swearing. Used solder paste in the end, first time using it, but it worked well, and sold the ring after Country Fair on Sunday.
Oh,
yay!
well done. Well
Fabulous.
Done. Don't use solder paste again. You got you out of
the outcome was good.
It got you out of an emergency. Leave it at that.
Okay. Barbara's saying, I'm making a curb chain bracelet using 1.65mm wire and rings with ID 3.5mm.
Inside diameter, yep.
Yep. Should I use hard or medium solder to solder them closed?
So the idea with the links is that you're obviously going to be making them into like a trace first, and then you're going to twist it into a curb. These joints have got to be perfect. they've got to be strong because they've got to be able to withstand the twisting. So definitely use a hard solder with it. It's going to be the hardest, the highest melting point. It's going to be the strongest solder as well. So definitely a hard solder. Make sure that all these joints are the most perfect joints you've ever made in your life. They've got to be nice and perfectly flush. There must be no daylight going through it. Make sure you flux all around it. Make sure you use enough solder to be able to fill in, perhaps just a little bit more so as well, just to give all those joints strength, because you're going to have to twist the whole thing. Good luck with it. It does take a lot of patience when it comes to soldering all the links, but definitely use a hard solder. You will thank me for that. Don't use anything less than a hard, because the links are not going to have the strength to withstand the twisting. So definitely a hard solder. Yes, Louise.
Good. Charlene is saying, I'm new to this, so just listening and watching. Yay, welcome.
Welcome, Charlene.
We're always here on a Monday, apart from when we're not, which is kind of like the last Monday of every month, but sometimes it changes. But it's always on our Facebook and social media channels, and you can just ask a question, any question, jewellery related, mainly, but yeah, anything. Great, welcome. Claire is saying, oh, hang on, my chat just jumped. Where are you, Claire? Is there a better app than the iPhone camera to take photos?
Yes, there is. You want to get Camera Plus 2. Let me have a look. So, I always use, I think it's called Camera Plus. I'll get closer, you can be able to see all my apps now, my photography apps. So this is the one that I use here. It's called Camera Plus. It's a paid for app. This is brilliant. As you can see, due to the lights in here, we've got this bit of a blue tint. We obviously now, the thing is, even if you have, let me go back to this, even if you use your normal iPhone app, if the colour in the room is not right compared to the app, it doesn't know. The best thing about this app,
why is that going like that?
Why is what?
The line.
Oh, it just tells you it's horizontal.
Oh, God, clever. Spirit level. Mm.
So what we use, I'll tell you now, what I would then buy is a 17% grey card. You can buy little grey cards off Amazon, nice and cheap. I've got one on a lariat around here somewhere. Where's it to, Lucas? You might see a little red lariat.
Oh, I haven't seen that for a while, actually.
Okay, it's around here somewhere. But also I've got this. This is 17% grey. So all cameras should be calibrated to this 17% grey. And I'll show you what this is going to happen. Bit of a photography lesson, this. So as you can see, we've got quite a blue tinge on everything. So the advantage with this, we can press white balance on the bottom, and now we can choose, let me put my glasses on so I can see, it says grey card. Press grey card. It's expecting to put a grey card in front of you. Confirm, now that you've got the grey card in front of you, by doing that. As you can see, the picture changes. Now I take this away, everything now is the correct colour balance, as you can see. How cool is that? And the advantage with this is I put my hand in front of this now, it's got auto, it's got manual, it's got exposure. You can lock the white balance, you can lock exposure, you can put it onto here, you can lock focus, so everything can be in focus that is not in that particular area. We can alter exposure, so you can make things brighter, you can make things darker. You've got so much more that you can play around. As you can see, we can tap on that there. So that's in focus. We can lock that and we can move the focus in around. So everything around it is all out of focus. It's an absolutely brilliant app, and I use this all the time when I'm doing images here in the workshop, because I can guarantee that the light is going to be the same in today, tomorrow, this afternoon, this morning, whenever it is, because I simply use a grey card. And it's 17% grey card. This is a photography one, but you don't have to buy something as flash as that. They're about £4 or £5 on Amazon. It's a grey card. Keep that with you. I normally have it hanging around off the side of my bench there, but this app, you need a little grey card, and you can be sure. So that is something that I would do. As I said, you can lock in the focus, you can lock in the exposure, you can overexpose. Then you can play around with the images. You can have them whatever shape you want. Then you can export it then to your native photos on your iPhone, and then you can do some editing. But another app, and we're going to be doing photography very shortly on one of our workshops. Another quick photography app that I would definitely recommend is something called Snapseed. This, I feel, is one of the best type of images. This was our lounge, as you can see, as you may see on Facebook. We did that. We went through some of the. What's my? He's looking at me like that for. Okay, so that's that. But what
it's tidy.
But it's tidy for once, isn't it? But then what I did, went through it, and you can do some gorgeous effects with it. Increase it. You can put vignettes. You can do tune it. You can put HDR. You can put glamour glows. You can put grunge, retro. Oh, so much. 2 apps: Camera Plus, Snapseed. Get those 2. Snapseed's free. Camera Plus you've got to buy. But with those 2 apps, you've got everything covered. Absolutely brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Oh God, I come in here and I'm a bit. Is that light above there?
Don't worry about the lights. You look great.
Oh, look at that. That's coming off. How about that? Thank you, Louise. Let's go. Let's have another question.
Beth is saying, got moved back to NC, but staying with Son for a while until I find a house. No tools, no bench, no silver, but have internet. Oh, well, that's good.
That's the main thing.
Yeah,
you can do a lot of learning.
That's true. Yeah, sometimes it's good to just observe, isn't it, and absorb.
Absorb, yes.
Yeah, good. G Major, good morning. Glad I could make it here again. Usually I'm at work. I did pick up your email, G Major. I'm so sorry I haven't responded yet, but thank you as well for your kindness. But I haven't had a chance to show Andrew yet because I only picked it up this afternoon, but I'll show it to him tomorrow and try and get an answer for you. Well, I'll get an answer for you. No try. Great.
Try and pin me down is the trouble.
Yeah, that's the difficulty. Okay. Horatia, oh, my aunt died the same afternoon. It's been so sad. I'm so sorry. I've been watching Everything Every Day with the Queen. Yeah, well, yeah, you tried to turn over Friday night, didn't you? And I was like, nope.
Yeah.
No. I'm so sorry to hear that, lovely. It's turned into a bit of a sad one this afternoon, isn't it?
Oh, virtual ice cream's for everyone.
Okay. Many thanks for your help. Yes, I picked. Yeah, email, great. Okay. Claire uses a baby bottle warmer for pickle as well.
Yes.
Put all my granules into a cut off stocking and pop it in. Then I can get the bits back out easily. Ah, good tip.
You can also use these bags, as you've got the little Ziploc bags. So you can also open that, put a little bit of safety pickle in this, and then you can just, that'll bob up and down in your little pickle pot as well. But yeah, good, nice one. Yes, sorry, Lou.
Good. Oh, could Andrew turn his mic up a bit, please?
Yes, certainly can do. There we go. I should be a little bit louder now. Good.
David is saying, I have a Bracelet without a hole, had it for years and have no idea how to suspend it.
The only way you can do it is just to get one of those little cups that goes over the top of it, which is going to be like one of those little bell cups that comes down like that with a bit of a bottom like that. Looks like a Pac-Man ghost, doesn't it?
Does a bit, yeah.
Does a bit, doesn't it? The little ring on the end. This is all solid, and the Bracelet pops inside that. You put some glue inside of it, and that just gets glued in. That's all it is. I wouldn't try and drill it. It's going to be far, far too difficult to try and drill it. But just to glue a cap, I'm sure it's what's it called? It's called a bell. Is it a bell cap? Something like that. That goes over the top, so that should help you.
So you would just cement that on
cement
it,
it, 2-part epoxy resin, hardener and resin,
other epoxy resins are available.
I like 5-minute epoxy myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. AR Opals, got my second round of miscellaneous tool items in the US. Prompt, speedy delivery and great quality as advertised. Definitely recommend to everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, great.
Very good, thank you.
Okay.
Oh yes, John's going.
On his Ollie Bobs. Louise is saying, I have 6mm round wire. Can I use the DRM C130 to bring it down but still maintain the round shape, or do I need to use a draw plate?
You will have to use a draw plate. It will... If you had... is that going to work? Just thinking, no, it's not. I'll say we've got 2 extension rollers the same, so we're planning on putting one on the top, one on the bottom, so hopefully you can then roll down some round wire, but I've yet to experiment with that. I think you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to have a draw plate to pull it through. You could, if you're clever, as I know you are, and if you are clever, because you've got these rolls that do that, when you put the square wire in, obviously it's going to put a bit of a flat here, a bit of a flat there, you turn it round, and so forth. What you may be able to do, instead of turning it round a quarter to then put it through, do you know what I mean? Yeah, you may be able to put it through that way as well. I don't know. But whichever way you do it, not very clear, is it? Whichever way you do it, you're going to have flats on it. So you're going to have a draw plate to draw it down. 6mm wire, you didn't say what size you want to take the wire down to. I find that anything thicker than 2mm is really difficult to pull down by hand. Usually what I used to do was, I shall demonstrate this for everybody. I used to not obviously put my legs on the bench, but these were down on the floor. Yep, get your draw plate, put the wire through so it's just coming through, grab onto it, put it on the other side of your feet like that, and then pull it. Yep, or do a bit of exercise. You can put it down there and pull and push your feet away. Didn't have a draw bench in those days, and you could pull the wire through. But 2mm, I think, was the maximum I ever tried to do.
What's your back doing that, though?
Oh, it's because it's like you're...
You'd need to pull your hands back rather than pull through your back, then, wouldn't you?
It's like doing your cable rows that you were doing this morning. That's an idea. I can get you drawing some wire down. Couldn't I? Louise does cable rows, seated cable rows, and that'd be an awesome way. Just grab onto the pliers and you're ready to go, pull the wire through. I want 2mm, Louise, come on.
Could sell it through the store, couldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. As pulled down by Louise Berry. Oh, dear. Let's have another question.
Only you think of that. Okay. I've had to forget. Mark, Bully Mark. Hello, Mark. I bought the Gem Light box. Great tool. Yay, isn't it fabulous?
It is good. You have to experiment with it. The app is getting better and better, isn't it? We found that the app, when it came out originally, you could only do very, very limited things with it. But now they're improving the app all the time, aren't they, Lou?
Yes, absolutely.
They are.
Yeah, I was really excited when I saw the demonstration in the show last week.
Yeah. So yeah, we love it. We love the fact that you can remove backgrounds. The try it on feature still is a little bit glitchy, we found.
Well, I haven't tried it for a little while though, but things like that obviously need to be reported back, otherwise they don't really know that people are having a problem with it. So if we haven't reported that, then
we did.
I don't think I did. Oh.
I did
it
on your behalf.
Oh, okay. But it's still still brilliant.
It's a brilliant app. We can alter the background. You can put your text on it. The turntable's brilliant. I think you can't find. It is expensive, but I think for the time that it saves, because you can also use.
But I think it is expensive, but my photos look professional. They're consistent. They.
You can also use a normal camera as well.
Oh, I just use my phone.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
And it's just you don't need a posh camera. You don't need Photoshop, you don't need any of these apps, any of this equipment. You literally just need your smartphone. You need to have a reasonably modern phone, don't you? An up-to-date one, and the Gem Light box.
It's very good.
Yeah,
it's what it saves you. It's the right size, it's the right dimensions. You can alter everything about it, and I think it's very, very good.
And I think it's just the time it saves as well. If you practice and you know you can get consistently good results, you can just bang out your photos really, really quickly.
Yeah. Because I know everyone said, but we've got Photoshop, we've got this, that and the other, we've got angle poise lights. Yeah, and I totally get it.
I haven't got time to tinker with mine though.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
So we just go in there, it's on the side, plug it in, piece in, perhaps change the white balance or whatever would be on the phone, and literally within 3 or 4 minutes you've got several photographs, whereas the other person would still be setting it up and then go into Photoshop to remove the background or alter this, alter that.
It's nice to have more organic photos, isn't it? But they do take a little bit more time. And I love the eclipse filter. The black background.
Yes.
I just love the dramatic.
Because you just put something on Instagram now, didn't you? Let me just quickly show that now.
And that literally took me seconds.
Yeah.
To take that little snap.
Let me quickly try and find it.
I can find it on here.
I've got it.
Have you got it?
Yeah, there we go. So this is something.
And I know virtually nothing about photography.
So
that looks a bit bright green there, but I think that's just the...
But this is something that Louise literally did within a matter of seconds. On the Eclipse filter, it's got a nice slightly reflective turntable, really gives that fantastic impression. It's lovely, lovely and clear, you can see. And that was a very still, quick image that you did earlier on.
It just took me seconds, yeah.
Absolutely love it, and we love it. It's so easy. You know, there's another
taken on my phone.
Yeah, on the phone. There's another one there. The detail on this 3 feathers ring, you can see the detail on that. Slight bit of reflection, looks absolutely fabulous, and that's using the Eclipse filter. So
and hopefully, when people see a photo with the black background, and I should put the logo on it really, and then they're instantly recognisable as my pictures then, aren't they?
Yes, and again, you can do that on the Eclipse.
You can, and I keep forgetting. There's so many great features, I forget to use them all.
Yeah,
that's the only problem with it.
You have to remember to do a PNG, remove the background from it, save it to it, and away you go, Lou.
Yeah, it's great. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Let's do another question.
Yep. Nicole is saying, do you use any laser welders? If so, do you have any lessons on how to use them?
No. Laser welders is something that we don't have. Steve Satow.
Steve's your guy. Is Steve here?
Yep. Yeah.
Steve, are you there? Oh, Steve is here, yes.
Steve Satow is here. Get in contact with Steve. Just Google him. He's the guy. We've got a PUK, a Lampert puck, that is like an arc welder. We, at the moment, favour that over a laser. It's far cheaper. Doesn't necessarily give you the same results as the laser, but for what we want, the PUK, the pulse welder, or what they call it, an arc welder, is just as good for us.
Great. Okay. Good.
Another question?
Yeah, I can't remember how far we got.
Don't Feel Workshop sounds interesting. Yes, Android can be covered too. I haven't got an Android phone. We'll have to have a look at that, won't we?
Where did you get Android? Oh, Android would be covered too, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But it's any smartphone you can use with the Gem box and the Gem loop.
And Camera Plus as well, yes.
It's not specifically iPhones or any specific make or model anyway. It's as long as it's relatively modern, it'll be fine. Okay.
Can you just, when I'm answering the next question, Lou, can you look at Pickup Media for Mark G? Yes.
Steve has said, have her message me on Facebook.
Okay.
Who asked about it was Nicole? Was it Nicole?
Nicole, yeah.
Yeah, if you're on Facebook, give Steve a shout. If you're not on Facebook,
give us a shout.
Give me a message, and I don't know, give me a shout, and we can sort something out. But to link people up, we need both parties' permissions. Yes. So that's the only thing. Okay. Victoria is saying, I've been working on a silver with 9 carat gold balls range. How would that work with hallmarking?
Dual hallmarking. So you send it off to the assay office, say that it's silver and it's gold, and they then will hallmark it mixed metals for you. So they will hallmark it 925 silver and 375 gold. You've got to pay a little bit more for the assay because there's more stamps involved, but that would be the best way that you can do it. Totally.
Good, okay. Kenneth, hiya Kenneth, I want to make a cabochon containing the ashes of a friend's pet dog. Should I cast the cabochon in a mould and set it in a bezel, or just cast it in the bezel? I think a morning jewellery workshop might be good if we could.
Yes. I'm not quite sure how that would.
Because we've had a few questions today. I mean, obviously we don't have anything thing to include in the jewellery, but
No.
we could show a technique,
Methods of doing it.
or some various methods. It might be, we don't put ashes into stones, do we?
No. Or ashes into gold,
because that doesn't work. Yeah, but yeah, maybe we could do a workshop on that.
Yes. Techniques.
Sorry, I should have asked you that off camera.
Techniques and ways that you can incorporate ashes.
Yeah.
Because we've done a few. We've done, some guy had a Jack Russell that was always by his side, so he wanted that incorporated. So when it comes to that, yes, Kenneth, there's two ways. You can either buy a little cabochon mould.
Yeah, sorry, Kenneth, I hijacked your question then.
Resin 8. Claire is the lady. I'm not quite sure. I think she's still going. So it's resin and then the number 8. Resin 8. And the lady's name is Claire John. Okay, so that's the lady you really want to get hold of. Just search for Resin 8 on the net. Claire John is the lady's name. I'm not quite sure if that's how you spell Claire. I really do apologise if Claire you're watching. But it's Claire John. Resin 8. You can just about see that on the board. You then can buy the little cabochon mould. Yes, you can. Mix up the resin. Mix up the ashes into the resin. The only problem that I have found with that is that because the ashes are upside down, the ashes will slightly sink, and you may find that the cabochon will be rough when you take it out of the mould, or the ashes will be put on the surface and it'll be quite scaggy. So what I have done in the past was, and as you said, shall I cast it in the bezel? Exactly what I did. We made up a square ring, okay, that went like that, okay, and then that was inside there. So that was the ring we made, and the inside was slightly hollowed out, and that's the inside here, so you can see that, yeah. So what we did, we made sure that it was quite deep on the top here. Just put the board again so you can see what I'm doing. So from the side view is like this. There's the hole going through like that. It had sides that were quite high. We made sure then that what we did, we've got the resin, we mixed the harden and the resin up, and then we put the ashes in the resin, poured it into the ring, so it went all the way down into the ring, okay, and it came up, but we left a gap between where the resin was and the top of the bezel. So all that was all the ashes and the resin. The reason why we did that is then when this resin went off and hardened, we just simply mixed up some more resin, the hardener and the resin, but clear, and poured the clear onto the top. And if you keep that ring steady, you can keep adding and adding until you get, what's the word I'm looking for, Louise, when you get a slight top on that? Meniscus.
A meniscus,
Remember
is it?
meniscus?
Right, so.
You in the back, what's this called? Yeah.
I was paying attention.
So that's how Louise likes her glass of wine, with a meniscus like that, isn't it? So yeah, so that's what we would do to get a lot more resin in. If you put too much in, it's going to start to dribble, but you can just get it slightly clear. So then all this area here is going to be clear. And that then is going to be the best way that you're going to be able to do it. Do it in a mould, it's going to be scaggy, it's going to be rough, but that way is going to be your best bet. Obviously, you're not necessarily going to make a hollow box, but if you simply had it as a say an oval bezel, and that's already then put onto a ring shank. There's the bezel. You then would only fill the bezel up, perhaps 2/3 fill of all the ashes, leave in about 1/3 then to put your clear resin on top.
Okay.
Yes, Louise, don't forget, pick up media for Mark G.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
Sorry.
James is saying, do you reckon it's worth practicing making rings with brass and plumbing solder rather than investing in silver?
Try not to use a plumbing solder, because it's going to be like, I'm not quite sure where you are. In this country, that would be like a lead-based metal, lead-based solder, but don't ever use that. Please, can you just use silver solder? You can make brass, you can make copper, but use silver solder and you're going to get the better idea of the heat and the way the metal flows, moves, the solder, the flux and everything else. So try not to use plum solder or lead-based solder or low melting point solder. Try and use silver solder and it'll be far, far better.
Good. Mike is saying, is it a good idea to enamel sterling silver or does it need to be 999 silver? Part 2 of my question, can I enamel into a shape like a ball or will the enamel chip or fall off over time?
Okay, so let's keep that on the screen so I can relate back to that. You can use 925 silver, but usually what you should do is counter enamel. So say I'm enameling this, because when you put the enamel on the one side, when it cools, it sort of wants to pull the metal. So you've got a sheet of metal, here's your sheet, you put your powder on here, you put it in the kiln, okay, it comes out, but what then this happens now is that this tries to contract and pulls, and what it would do, it'll try and pull the metal, all right, so the metal will end up that sort of shape because it's pulling the metal. So the idea with counter enamel, if you can, is then you would put enamel on the one side, so the enamel would perhaps do this side, you turn it over, so perhaps you'd use like a simple white or a black on the one side, and then you enamel the other side, and the two enamels will make sure that the silver stays flat. If the silver is thin, if it's thick, it doesn't matter too much. So you can use 925 silver. Can you enamel onto a shape like a ball? Yes, you can, because you just put something onto the metal to make the powder attach itself. And all you want to do is if you keep heating the ball too much, it's all going to slide off. So what you want to do is put it into the kiln and just heat it so the glass just fuses and melts, then take it out. Leave it in there too long and it will drop down. There you go. Next question then. But I've never done a ball actually. I've done a slight curved surface and you can do the concave or convex, but don't keep it too hot because the glass, the enamel will run. Definitely yes. Yes, Lou.
Okay, Mountain Sin is asking, do you need a heavier bezel wire and back plate for a larger cab, 2 by 1 inches?
You would not necessarily need a thicker bezel. You wouldn't necessarily even need a thicker back plate. I think back plates are overrated. People try and increase the thickness of the back plates, but the back plate is just purely there to hold the bezel in place, unless it is part of a ring where the ring is soldered to the underneath of a back plate. So again, if that's a board, not me. if you think about, I don't want to get in there that quick. If you are soldering, here's your ring here. If you're soldering an oval bezel, for argument's sake, on top of the shank is being soldered onto the back of the back plate, but then the back plate has to be quite thick because it's got to have the strength to hold the ring shank onto the bezel. Then it has to be quite thick. But otherwise, I would only have it perhaps 0.7 of a mil, not quite sure what that is in gauge, or even 1 millimeter thick maximum. The thicker you go on the wire, the harder it is going to be to push it over. Again, I wouldn't worry about having this bezel too thick, even though it's a bigger stone, because it's going to be harder for you to push it over. So again, whatever standard size bezel wire, bearing wire you've got would be fine for a big stone like that, definitely.
Good.
Yes.
Horatia, is very sad that the Platinum Jubilee...
Sorry guys.
Okay, when you're ready, Andrew, when you stop scratching. Horatia, is really sad that the Platinum Jubilee hallmark has been discontinued. I made some special pieces and I really wanted it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are very disappointed that it's... You're like a monkey, can you stop scratching?
I'm sorry, I got an itch.
A lot of people have...
I don't know.
Because unless they were going to immediately replace it with a different commemorative mark, but it just feels a bit... I'm sure they have their reasons.
I think it's disrespectful.
I don't think it's not meant to be disrespectful, is it? It's obviously meant as a mark of respect, but
But in theory, this is
Is it to differentiate between pieces that were hallmarked before and after
her reign or not?
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
I
don't know who chose to discontinue it, because I know all of them discontinued at the same time.
I think people disagree with as far as I've seen anyway.
All the people who I've seen have disagreed with it.
Yeah, rather than been in support of it. But again, like I say, they obviously have their reasons. But it might have been handy if that had been communicated a bit more effectively to everybody.
Beforehand, yes. And perhaps not immediately did it, but perhaps say...
Well, it was the day after, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And I think that was too much. Because I remember listening to the radio, and they said about King Charles was asked, because there are stamps that are still going to be coming out that have been approved by the Queen, God bless her, from months and months ago. But he said, no, I still want them to come out.
Yeah, well, isn't there another mark? Yeah, there's something else that she's approved. Or I'm thinking of the stamps.
Yeah, stamps, yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah, so he said, no, I want them to come out, because it's still ongoing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is, I know...
Well, that's it, she had the Jubilee, she achieved that.
Yes, so why should it be discontinued, even though this is still the Jubilee year?
There must be a reason.
There must be. We don't know the reason.
There must be a reason. Yes. But yeah, I do agree with you, Horatio. I think I was sad.
Yes.
But then it's a very emotive time, isn't it? So, yeah.
Yeah. And it has upset a lot of people, because as Horatio said, people have asked to have it done, and people have made pieces.
Planning on,
having it done. They've got to explain then to the customers, we're not going to be able to have it, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Not good.
But then that's beyond your control, so all you can do is apologise to your customer and say it's beyond your control, isn't it?
Exactly.
So, yeah, totally. But that doesn't really make it easier for them, does it?
Let's have another question, please.
Okay. Phyllis saying, just checked on Sky, All That Glitters episode 3 is on BBC 2, 9 p.m. tomorrow, and episode 4 Thursday. Ah, okay.
So tomorrow?
So should we just do one catch-up then on Friday for the 2?
I think it's going to have to be a long one then, isn't it? It had to be 2 lots.
Okay.
Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, good to see.
Good. Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, because I heard it wasn't going to be even this week. They were going to start.
Did you? Where did you hear that?
Andy Howard from Birmingham School of Jewellery.
Okay.
But glad to hear that. So it is tomorrow night, and then Thursday night.
That's what Phil says.
Good, excellent.
Okay, cool, thank
you. For that, Phil. Thank you.
And because saying soon there's a fitness studio next to the store where Andrew makes everyone draw wire. Beth, oh, thank you, Beth. We did the laser welders, didn't we?
Yes.
Okay. Penny is sad that I have the original Gemlight box and I want the new one.
Penny, it's still good.
The original one is brilliant.
It is still good. We've got that one. And it is still good. There's nothing wrong with it. The app is obviously improving all the time, so you're still going to get all the features. So it's still the Pro still has the features. It has the turntable. It still has the little lights on it. And
in 2 years' time, they might bring out an even better one, and then we'll be one behind you then, because
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
Janet has got a health and safety issue. Laughed but scared. Got my hair caught in my foredom. Ooh. Must have leaned over too far. Hair tied back. Now thinking of wearing hairnet. Took ages to untangle long hair. Oh my God. Do you know, I thought about this. I put a photo on my Instagram of me repolishing the 3 feathers ring actually. And I noticed that I had my eye protection on, and I noticed then afterwards my hair was actually, it's not particularly long, but it was dangerously close to and it would tangle and rip, wouldn't it? It's just, and we don't think so much until obviously, so yeah, but your hair was tied up.
That's mad. Because if your micromotor was going 5,000 revs, which is nothing really.
And you're concentrating, you're not thinking about your hair. Your hair's the last thing you're thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank God you managed to untangle it and didn't injure yourself. But I think, a messy bun or a
messy bun.
A messy bun. I love a messy bun. I mean, if it saves your equipment and your hair, I would probably opt for the hairnet.
Or baseball cap.
Yeah.
A baseball cap, something like that.
Shower cap.
I can just imagine you, Louise, with your Mickey Mouse shower cap on.
That's right. It's not that, is it? Shh. God.
Sat there on the bench, Mickey Mouse hat on.
Thanks. Did you have to say Mickey Mouse?
Sorry.
Okay, I'm glad you're okay, Janet. Thank you for reminding us of that, because that's really important. Great. Claire's saying, great pick, thank you. Phil is saying, is it possible to flush set small baguette stones? If so, how would you drill out the hole?
You use a square drill. Only joking.
I wasn't listening, sorry, I was reading the questions.
Drill. But in woodwork, you can get a square drill. It'll drill, circle, and it'll cut square holes in woodwork. You can't necessarily do that with metal. But what I would do, looking down on top, okay, you would get your stone, you turn your stone upside down, put it on top of your piece of metal, okay, you draw around it or just scratch around it so you know where the outside edge of your stone is. Then you would get your drill, you would then perhaps drill a small hole here, little small holes, then drill a bigger hole, and then drill a bigger hole. So you drill perhaps 3 holes or perhaps 2 holes. Then what you would do is get perhaps a cylinder burr or use your piercing saw, depending on how good you are. And then you would just simply then go to the edges and remove all the edges smaller than what the outside of the stone is. So this is the side of the stone. This is your little mark in here. You've drilled through, you've drilled it outwards, and then what you would do, this is the outside edge, and then you would slightly taper these, and you just simply just get a burr to make sure then you've got that sort of profile so the square stone can sit in. But yeah, circles, drill, cut out with a burr or with a piercing saw. When you come to do these, as Rebecca was doing today, don't have the piercing saw upright, have the piercing saw at an angle, so your pieces of, azures, A-Z-U-R-E-S. I'm sure it's French for daylight, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it is. Oh, Louise, what's happening, Louise?
What's happening? Ooh,
we're
going to have to fix that to make it happen automatically. Nicole, thank you,
Nicole,
so
very
much.
kind. Can we have the lights back on?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
But thank you, Nicole.
That's
Really do
very
appreciate
kind.
it. Really kind. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you. Ah, dear.
So we did.
Yes.
Will you be doing interviews with all the Glitters contestants? We don't know at this point, do
No,
we?
I'm
Yes.
not saying anything.
We'll have to wait and see on that one. Delmar Mountain Star. Andrew and Louise, I bought one of those Presidium Gem Tester 2. They work pretty good. I am happy with my purchase. They are a little bit loose on accuracy, but what do you expect?
Well, yeah, we're looking on to getting one as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Looking forward to buying one. So we'll let you know when we get one.
Yeah.
Obviously,
we don't really know anything about it yet, so we'll. Is that my birthday present?
No, I wouldn't buy one for your birthday, would I? Because that's not a proper birthday present. It's an
It is.
You want one now, do you, for your birthday?
No, I just want one.
Okay.
No.
You'll have one. We will have one, but it won't be for your birthday.
Okay.
It won't be for a birthday present. No, that's not fair, is it? You can't have a piece of gem testing equipment.
Why not?
Because you're going to go, this is not
It's a brilliant birthday present.
All right, that's fair. That's that sorted out then. Right, let's have another question.
Yeah, we'll let you know what we think of it, Delmar. Okay,
Yes.
Let's see. Nath is saying, new subscriber here, welcome. I watched the video on flesh setting gemstones and I would like to know if you have set any stones in titanium jewellery or have tips regarding titanium.
No, I don't have any experience with titanium at all, I'm afraid, apart from colouring it when I was a kid. So no, I'm afraid I can't suggest anything on titanium. I don't know how well the metal moves. I know you can drill it. I really don't know much about how we can do it. I'm afraid no. So I'm afraid I can't help. Sorry,
Okay.
Really sorry.
Okay. Good. Richard is saying, hello you two, hello.
Hello.
After you use safety pickle, is it normal for the torch flame to burn green, blue while annealing sterling?
Yeah, it's usually the residue of what is on the metal. Sometimes you can put it into water, and perhaps your water may be slightly pickled, so to speak, if that's such a way. Then the residue then burns off and the flame. Someone, I remember a long time ago on Facebook, said, well, these are all the colours that you will see on a piece of metal when you anneal it. If it's orange, it means there's this on the surface. If it's blue, it means there's this on the surface, or this is present, this gas is present, and so forth. I just glanced over that because I'm not really interested in knowing what's on the surface. But yes, you put it in the pickle, put it in your water. Your water is going to take up some of the pickle. You go to anneal it, there will be a different colour flame, yes. But it's fine, it's no worries at all. Nothing to worry about. And if you're unsure, just make sure that you rinse your water quite often so it's not pickled at all. Another couple of questions a little bit before we go, because it's 5 o'clock.
Yes. G Major is saying, on a piece with a ton of pave set shears prongs, which prongs are best to push and lock the stone in place? The 2 diagonal prongs or the 2 side-by-side prongs?
I'd have to see a picture.
Send me a picture, G Major.
Yes.
Please, louise@andrewberry.co.uk, and we'll have a look for you.
Draw it out, draw out the pictures, draw out the claws, draw out the stones, and I'll let you know, certainly. Yes.
Okay. Yes, I do read the questions in order.
Yes.
Yeah, from top to bottom. Try not to miss any out, but if I do, I get reminded. But I don't think I missed any today. I have double checked, and yeah.
Good.
So.
Yeah. I mean, we can't guarantee we answer every single question, but we do go through it from the top.
Yeah, do my absolute
best.
Schoolgirl best. Yeah.
You do, yes.
Yeah, as always. Yeah. Okay. Victoria does resin and stones inlaid with ashes.
Good.
Lynn is saying, I've contained ashes in a small hollow bead using art clay silver. I know somebody who rises them into glass cabochons and sets them. I think the problem with glass, well, for a ring anyway, would be durability, wouldn't it?
I was trying to think of, yes. Totally.
It's not just pets, but people like loved ones. Ashes also, yeah, that is true. That should say fuses ashes into glass, yeah. Okay, House of Resin AK Metal Clay Limited are lovely as well, just in case you need somewhere else. Thank you, Horatia. Cool. Susan is saying glow-in-the-dark jewellery. Does anybody make any?
Oh, wow,
cool.
Interesting. No, we don't. I don't know.
Okay. Lynn is going to be teaching a class at the Guild of Enamelers conference next year, and will be enamelling around sterling silver beads.
Wow,
cool.
Send us some pictures. Let us know how you do it.
Good. Okay.
Good. That's about it.
Susan saying hollow out the back of a cab, put ashes in, glue on backing to hold ashes. Because who's the guy who does the dichroic glass?
Tefnell.
Because Martin Tefnell, yeah, he did, and I love the way he does it, because when I met him, I think he was in a bead show. He does mainly, I think it's like paperweights,
yeah.
And
just balls, round balls.
He says he doesn't get the chance to do it until late at night when everything goes quiet, so it's just him in his studio or workshop, and he's got just alone with this
person.
Yeah, and he said he likes to know the person's name, and he talks to them as he's making the
it is lovely.
The memorial, and the way he described it really brought a lump to my throat, because it was just so respectful, and he talks to me, likes to know a little bit about them, and he
has a conversation with them.
It's a really personal piece, isn't it? It's lovely.
Yeah, it is lovely.
Yeah. Good. So I'm just going to read this last question. Mine Sinson is saying, I'm doing my first bezel setting today after watching Andrew's videos multiple times. Do I use heavier? Oh, did I read that one?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Good.
That's about it. Yep.
Did I read that one? Heavy wire backplate metal for a larger cab. Yeah, 1 by 2 inches.
Yeah, it depends on whether the backing plate is going to be used for strength. But if it isn't, if it's just going to be for a pendant, the backing plate could be whatever thickness you want. Definitely, yes.
So regarding the hallmark Jill is saying, I think it was part of the protocols, everything stops, no consultation.
Okay.
The mod's got an interesting opinion. As it's to commemorate the Jubilee, it's understandable to stop doing it once her reign has unfortunately ended. Sad but understandable.
Okay.
So actually, if you look at it that way, there may be a new hallmark to celebrate the coronation of the new king. There undoubtedly will, I would say. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Should we call that a day?
I think so.
Good.
Helena says an old beret works well for your long hair problem with
beret.
Yeah.
I thought what
micromotor or
you're very
pendant
stylish.
motor. I think that would look very cosmopolitan sat at the bench.
It would,
Perhaps you should wear one anyway, Andrew, regardless of the fact you haven't got long hair.
Regardless of your Disney shower cap, Louise.
Seriously, again, really though. Penny says, my jewellery tutor made us tie up our hair, wear eye protection, leather apron and wear hard top shoes. Absolutely,
I think
100%.
all of that is definitely...
We recommend that too.
Yes, we always make sure hair's tied back or hair cut short. We always make sure that all our team here, especially the ones who are definitely working at the bench, no canvas shoes, always leather or pleather or vegan leather, whatever, but they've got to be hard shoes. No open-toed sandals, no daps, as we call them here in Wales. And definitely, I always wear an apron. I don't have one today, it's rather warm, but I always make sure that we supply the team with an apron because it saves a lot of damaged clothes.
Yeah. Good.
Shall we go now?
I want to read out, Gillian is
Yes.
saying, proud to say my cousin is part of the Queen's, now the King's company of Royal Archers bodyguards for the King when they were in Scotland and will be guarding him today. Oh my God, that is amazing.
That is amazing.
Fabulous.
Cool.
Wow.
Right, everybody then, thank you all very much indeed. Yes, there was something on Gomyo's YouTube channel, yes, about iridescent and luminous resin.
Cool.
Okay, we are going to go and we're going to go home.
Yep.
It's Monday.
Of course, that is where we live.
It is where it is. So when was all the glitters on? Tomorrow night, was it?
Tomorrow, yes.
So tomorrow, all the glitters.
Yeah, so Phyllis said, I don't know how to find out actually.
No.
But...
Pickup Media. Find at pickupmedia.com.
Oh yeah, you've only asked me 3 times.
For the gem light box. Yes.
Pickup Media.
Yep, Pickup Media. But please do get in contact with us as we have.
That's polished, is it?
Down there, the ad. Pickupmedia.com is the way you want to go to. Please do get in contact with us because I think we've got a coupon code for free shipping.
Have we?
I'm sure it's ATB at the bench. I'm sure it's ATB. You get free shipping from that, which is worth 30, 40, 50 pounds, I think, wherever you are in the US, UK, wherever you may be in the world. So everyone, we are going to love you and leave you now. We're going to watch all the glitters tomorrow. We'll let you know what we're going to be doing tomorrow regards to whether we're going to be doing a day after party tomorrow or whether we're going to leave it until Friday and do it all in one. What do you want to do? Do it all in one?
I think do it in one, otherwise we're going to really outstay our welcome and people are going to get.
Okay, so we'll do it all on Friday. We're going to do a big day after party for those 2 episodes of All the Glitters M.
Do you think?
Yes. Otherwise, it's going to be an awful lot for these guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We're going to love you and leave you. We're going to
sick of us.
Absolutely. We're going to they're sick of you. Have to sort these lights on. These lights aren't bright enough. So, everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll see you Friday for the All That Glitters Day After Party. That'll be 5:30. It'll be a big one, because it's going to be covering the 2 shows from All the Glitters, we've been told. Thank you for all the super chats. Really do appreciate the donations. Thank you all very much. You are absolutely lovely, lovely people. And what else we got to say, Lou? Anything?
There will be no Q&A
next
Monday. So a week today, we won't be here.
We won't be
because
here.
of the bank holiday for the funeral.
Yes, funeral of the Queen. We will not be doing any Q&A next Monday. So Friday will be our next broadcast, and then the following Friday for the day after party from All the Glitters. So no Q&A next Monday. We are going to be silent. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. We will catch you Friday. Anything else you want to say, Lou?
I don't think so.
Nothing at all.
Not that I can think of.
Okay, let us go. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. It is goodbye from me and it's goodbye from Louise.
Goodbye.
You got it right that time. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Ta-ta. Bye-bye. Oh, damn, I just missed my fade to black button there. There it is. Bye-bye, everybody.